part of the journey was also sharing knowledge with each other and just knowing that it was going to be scary because you were 6 months behind, you know.
Right.
And we didn't see each other a lot that year. That's the interesting thing, is because you were in Boston caring for her and we were in New York caring for Hayden, so we didn't see each other physically as much as we usually would have. But the first key moment was the seizures, and somebody taught me, and this is what I was saying earlier, was that he came to teach me Reiki. To sort of as a way to try to manage the seizures, and I think it may have worked a little bit, but it was also an incredible way for me to connect to him, just to put my hands on him and breathe and invite him into my space, and him inviting me into his space. And one of the times we were doing it, he started a seizure that lasted almost 2 hours. And we took him to the hospital and tried to explain that he had Tay-Sachs and that these seizures happened. We just needed to learn how to manage them so they didn't go on so long. And the next thing we knew, he was jammed full of needles, and we had literally had to say, take the needles out, we're taking him home. You know, and they were like, no, we need to leave him overnight for observation, and that was the moment that we decided we were going to do everything we could to treat him at home and take care of him at home, because that was the space where he was going to be comfortable. That was the space where he was going to be cared for best. Right. And I remember sharing that with you about saying, you know, the seizures are really scary. The seizures can be a nightmare. There's really sort of intense, and there are thoughtful ways that you can try to manage those, but that we have really decided to not be invasive, and not be in the hospital. And that was a crucial moment.
Oh, this was a huge learning for us, and we made a decision. Again, we benefited from the challenges that you faced. We, having heard from you how miserable he was in the hospital, even for a short time, which we certainly would have done ourselves if you hadn't gone through it first. But, you know, because of the startle response, the sounds, the bells, the dinging, the lights, you took him home that first time and said, we're never going back. We never had to take her. And you know, we fought. She had a seizure.
She never went?
Not one day in the hospital, except when she was completely healthy to go visit a neurologist, you know, in the neurologist's office.
Right.
But technically, really, no days in the hospital. But her first seizure of any note was on a Sunday afternoon. We got the pediatrician on call, who was the one colleague of our pediatricians, there was maybe 4 or 5 in the office, who didn't buy into our plan. And our plan was stay at home, keep her at home. Care is focused on comfort. Mm-hmm. And I fought with him for an hour to get seizure meds that we could deliver at home. And he said everything in the book. You're not taking care of her, she should be in the hospital, this is not the right way to do it. But I had the confidence because of our conversations and the conviction because of your description of what it was like for him to be in the hospital and knowing what it would do to her to have the sounds and the lights and the needles. I said, Todd, I agreed with him for an hour. And I finally got the seizure meds, and I went to the pharmacy and we administered them ourselves.
So, I mean, again, that's the network and support we were able to provide to each other to make a decision where we had to fight with doctors to do what we knew was best for ourselves.
Right.
The second key point was...
And by the way, I just want to honor you and Hayden for giving us that gift. Yeah. That's a huge gift that came because of what you've learned and our ability to teach each other.
Yeah.